I don't have any sound.
All right, we got lots going on today. So good morning. How's everybody doing? All right, start off with public comments. Anyone has anything they'd like to address the board? We ask you to come up to the podium, give us your name and address and 3 minutes. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 18 from Thursday, May the 11th, 2023, and approval of bills for payment.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, advertisement for bids, engineers, Patrick.
Good morning, everybody. Number one is the Mahoning Western Reserve Road, County Road 32, Part 1 and Part 2. This is the long-awaited road widening, Western Reserve Road from South Avenue all the way to Hitchcock Road.
All right. Motion for advertisement for bids.
Motion to approve advertisement for bids number 1.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Jobs and Family Services, legal notices.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a request for Department of Job and Family Services to be able to issue a request for proposals for transportation services from the period of July 1st of 2023 through June 30th of 2024.
Okay, thanks, John. Legal notices, motion.
Motion to approve legal notice number 1.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Journal entries.
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Agreements, auditors.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So the two agreements here. The first one, it's an agreement with PR Consulting LLC for network services, 48,000 general. The second is the agreement with the Development International, which is licensed for our GIS system. That is non-general fund.
Okay, thank you. All right, lead-based.
CDE.
C is an agreement with Howland Company LLC for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 614 St. Louis in the amount of $24,261.50 non-general. D is an agreement with Howland as well for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 1250 Wilson in the amount of $12,547.75 non-general. And C is an agreement with Howland Company as well. Lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 3214 Southern Boulevard in the amount of $10,000 non-general.
Sure, thanks. All right, move on to sanitary. Patrick.
Commissioners, letter F is an agreement with Seal Pro Asphalt seal coating. This is for the resealing of the asphalt and restriping of the parking lot at the business office and the main garage in the amount of $6,600 non-general funds. And letter G is an agreement with Vantel Associates. This is to provide 4 permanent easement appraisals related to the New Middletown Force Main and Pump Station project, which is improvement number 501 in the amount of $3,100, also non-general funds.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Motion to approve agreements.
Motion to approve agreements, letters A through G.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions number 1 additions.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, resolutions, commissioners, OMB resolution approving. Take that out. You want?
Commissioners, this is a resolution approving the amendments and expenditures with the following to assist with COVID-19 public health and funded by the ARPA in the amounts of for Golden String is $150,000. and community improvement for 250,000 in not changing the amount.
Audrey, do you think that we should look at something drastic in case Congress decides to claw back and steal all the money that they've allocated on behalf of, projects? Because obviously we had through till the end of next year.
To have expended for things that are not related to infrastructure for sewer and water. And then to 2026 for those things, they have to just be encumbered by the end of the year. And yes, me and Anna were talking about this exact same thing today, that
Yeah.
we may have some shovel ready projects that we need to just
Yeah,
take and encumber before that happens.
right.
So it's something.
Because obviously we had X amount of years to do this. And we planned it over that period of time to do it, and now all of a sudden they're going to renege on the money that they've allocated, for the debt ceiling,
Yes.
so we definitely need to look at something that we can, quickly encumber that at least makes it difficult to claw back.
And that
Within
was,
the quarter.
that was actually on TV, that they were gonna go back and look at who didn't spend their money
Well,
to try to take it back.
I would think though, the
well,
next.
it's saying clawback,
next-
nobody spent all their money because, we've got a period of time
No,
to
I
do it.
know that, but
So,
they're gonna,
The timeframe to
Figure it
hit
out.
some major projects is probably a little bit harder, but the thing that we have is we're in the current quarter, so I would think by the end of June, we have
yeah,
final. So Anna will tell me, right,
maybe
Anna?
by the end of tomorrow would be a good time to have.
Well, they look at your expenditures usually on a quarterly basis, but you're right, they could do whatever, but that's the
If they
hard
claw
part.
back, they're gonna freeze everything.
what happens if you have, what we need to find out is if you do have projects that are
Mhm.
ready to roll and that we have not done them yet, who's gonna pay for those?
If they're encumbered and we've increased, then those are commitments, those are hard
So
commitments.
can we get commitments and hard for all the other ones we already have?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Well, then they can't take,
But
Not
for the
that,
ones that
but
are
there's still
commi-
13 million, they can.
well,
Yes.
we'll do something else.
That's what we're talking
And that
about.
was why the commissioners moved the balance of the revenue replacement and
Into
assigned that to
general fund, right.
expenses, so that went to the general fund last week.
I have projects ready if you need.
All right, Pat,
I knew, I was just thinking, I was waiting for you to jump in.
Yeah.
can we bid them and get them encumbered by the end of June?
I can have them ready by the end of the month.
Okay,
We'll definitely have to sit down and talk
all right, I'll put you on the
Quickly.
agenda.
tomorrow. Okay, B, jobs and family. John,
Commissioners, this is a resolution for the approval of the appointment of one customer inquiry support specialist for the Child Support Enforcement Division.
thank you. OMB grants, domestic relations.
Good morning. I'm not sure if anyone from Domestic Relations Court's there in the audience today. I can't see. Is Don Hefner there?
No,
Oh,
you're
okay.
on, Anna.
All righty then. This is a resolution in support of a grant application to the Ohio Criminal Justice Services for VAWA, Violence Against Women Act funding for FY '23. And we are requesting a total amount of $60,000 with a cash match of $20,000, which will be provided by the Special Projects Department of the Domestic Relations Court.
Okay, thank you. Anna.
Thank you.
Motion to approve resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions, letters A through C.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. All righty, Nancy, just Speedy Gonzalez. All right, good of the order. Any electeds, or department heads have anything that they'd like to add? Patrick, anything going on you want to add?
Usually this time of year, we start talking about it's orange barrel season. But with the mild winter that we had, orange barrel season seemed to not stop. So, I just always urge people when you're out driving, take your time, slow down, stay off your phones. There's a lot of workers out on these roads, our paving program's underway. And, these folks want to go home to their families. So give it a little extra time, be patient. It's a necessary evil to improving, our infrastructure is the delays during construction. So keep that in your minds when you're driving and, just remember these people want to go home every night.
Thanks, Pat. Anybody else?
I want to say thanks to Brian and
42.
Thank you. Brian 42, they updated
I
the
see
camera
that.
system and added a monitor in the front. So those sitting in the audience can now see who's talking instead of turning around and having to look their neck. So I think they've still got a couple free things to do and they're kind of here to monitor us. So thank you guys for getting this up in 3 days so that the room was available again without hesitation. So appreciate it.
Good job. We can't.
The
they
problem
can't miss us.
is once you leave, one of us has to turn it on and off. And normally there's confusion. So.
We have one remaining.
So we have our 911 on speed dial that goes directly to Brian. All right, Carol.
Oh, it just seems like a slow day, but we've got a lot done today, a lot of things with our ARP funding. That's gonna help a lot of good projects. And I feel confident that everything we do have left, that we'll expend that as well. Because we do have other projects that we will be looking at with Anna and Audrey, of which we will be putting in place. And like Dave said, Pat, maybe if you have something that you feel we need that might fit with sanitary, just put it down and meet with us so we could see what we could do. We don't want to send a dime back because they gave it to us to help our community. And our community is Mahoning County. And if we don't use our money that was given to us, we will not get any money back. I don't foresee us getting anything in the next 6 years like we have received now. So we need to be good stewards and use every dime because we could use it in our valley. And if they take it, it won't be used for Mahoning County. And the state will not be giving us anything because all they do is take it back as well. They're just different. They don't have a working relationship with their own state legislators that they could sit at the table and actually look at what we need to do to make Ohio better. It's only take and put laws in place that hurt all of our people. And I just honestly, and I mean, I think Dave and Anthony feel the same way. I just don't know how people and legislators that are in different areas of the county, whether it's here in Mahoning or anywhere else in the state, are not going crazy on these legislators when they go back to their hometowns and tell them what they did. I don't know. I just feel like they're all sleeping. Are these residents in Ohio sleeping? I mean, we need to like step up to the plate, tell these people what we need and keep on them so that we could get help for our people. If you're not the squeaky wheel, you're not getting anything. So I'm done. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. God willing, it'll be nice out. It's a little chilly today, but.
Anthony.
Yeah. Carol, Dave, Pat, it's great to see the widening of Western Reserve Road. That's been something that I'm so happy to see. It's been a lot of years in coming. It's going to alleviate hopefully a lot of traffic issues that we're experiencing on 224. And that's been a project that's been in the works a long time, so it's good to see that happening.
Anthony,
And
I spoke to John Getchy yesterday, the former director of Eastgate at Eastgate's annual meeting. And he came up to me and said he had been working for 40 years to try to get that section widened, and he was so happy to see that's on the board right now, getting ready to be bid and built.
Yeah. So, I mean, take a victory lap, because I remember years ago when the funding was going to be put in place for that, and it was taken out by somebody in Columbus, but I won't mention names today, but.
But we
Pat, I
were in high
appreciate
school
all
when
you've done.
you and I were in high school when this thing was planned. I had to comment too on the picture of Dave that Mike Adams has on his screen.
I wish I had that hair, Pat. I'd share
No,
some with you.
I agree, though. It's nice to finally see these big projects moving that are going to help improve the quality of everybody in that region.
Absolutely, absolutely. And secondly, with respect to the clawbacks, you know, I worked in Congress 11 years and they always bring up the debt ceiling issue. I'm not surprised that they're talking about clawbacks, because there's a $21 trillion deficit that they're arguing over, and they're going to shut the government down and play all those games. You know, maybe they'd be nice and say, we're going to give the communities an extension. But I don't see that happening. But I think we're right that we need projects. We need the projects to protect the money that they gave us. So other than that, thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, it's disheartening that we don't remember or know the past, so we don't, as we all say, repeat it. Because just like the projects that we allocated today, like the one for the flooding in Austintown we did a week ago or 2 weeks ago. When you look back at those, I know from a personal standpoint, you know, we took and allocated and were able to receive almost $8 million to fix flooding problems in Austintown. And it was through CDBG allocated by commissioners. It was through issue 1, issue 2. It was through local government funds. All of that money was secured on every project we did to eliminate and alleviate in-house flooding of more than 3,000 homes in areas in Austintown. That's why Austintown doesn't pay the ABC tax, because we worked so hard for so long to get that. So now all of a sudden, it's all going to be wiped away. The state of Ohio is already, the legislature's already wiped away issue 1, issue 2, CDBG, local government funds. When you want to look why we can't fix our flooding problems, we can't fix our own local government problems, look no further than Columbus. Because every year they dig a hole for us to fill before we can balance our budget. We're probably at $20 million a year lost through state repealed funding that came to local government over the last 10 years, 20 million countywide, at least. And that's probably a very conservative estimate. You know, the revenue stream going to the Justice Fund alone is 5 million a year. That's what they've blocked. So what could you have done with 5 million going into the Justice Fund? I don't know. Provide ambulances for people. I don't think the state legislature's out there working hard to make sure that we can secure ambulances for every community that has a need. You know, every day we get calls on people and voids in ambulance coverage because there's such a drastic need in every community. Why aren't we working on projects that help people in the valley, in the communities you serve? What are we doing? I don't even know the name of the stupid thing they're putting on the ballot in August, SBRJ2 something or other.
That's
You know,
crazy.
so
That
it
is
didn't even
crazy.
have enough votes in a super majority to come out of committee. Didn't even have enough votes. They had to circumvent the process to get it out of committee, to get it to the House, for them to vote to take away our rights. And they're going to vote in August when 4 months ago, they already voted to never have another early election. 4 months ago. They already voted. So now it's tied up in court. It's going to be tied up in court. They didn't even have the authority to bring it out and vote at the House because they voted not to be able to do that. And they would have had to repeal that vote in order to get to this vote, in order to block the people that are putting initiatives on in November so that 41% can control the Constitution in the state of Ohio. We're going to be the most radical right state next to Alabama if we continue in this direction. And what does it do? It hurts people that need the most. The people that have the least and need help and need opportunities. Those are who it hurts. And what's next? When they have the supermajority, right to work. So everybody can be gone.
And the
So
minorities are involved in that.
so it never ends. It's just crazy the direction we're coming. And we ask people to, we ask our reps and our senators to come and tell us what they're working on, what they're proposing, and what they're voting on in Columbus, and how it benefits the residents they represent. How does it benefit the residents? If you look at this 41 vote that's coming up in August, supposedly, over the last 20 years, the initiatives that's passed by less than 60%, but the majority, by a majority, helped. I believe there was 14 and that were put on the ballot. 8 of them went through, and most of them were assistance and help for people in middle class to lower income. And all of those would have been washed away. None of them. So, it's just crazy. One more than half doesn't win anymore. What are they going to do next? Well, one more than half doesn't win. I don't know. I guess that, we were born in a different world than it is today.
And you have to
know.
read the bill because it affects the minorities as well.
So-
In that bill, they will not change that. I read that and Lauren McNally was in the paper with that whole thing. And she's of course opposed to it. How any legislator, and you're right, could even, I don't get it. Aren't they, I think they just go to Columbus, take a ride to Columbus on Wednesday,
Hey,
go in and do whatever they were told to do and leave.
wait till I get my glasses. I've got glasses ordered online for everyone so that we could put the rose-colored glasses on like they do when they go to Columbus, because in Columbus, everything is rosy. And when they come back to Mahoning County, I got to get my white tip cane because they don't see the problems in the communities they represent. They only see the roses. When you get off State Route 11 in Austin Town, the grass is 3 feet high. The roads haven't been swept. The ODOT, they sat at the engineers meeting Pat had, and they bragged about how they only cut the grass twice a year. When I get off at Polaris and I get off in Franklin County, believe me, it's manicured like Jack Nicklaus's golf course. Every one of them.
It's
So,
true.
but you can only see that when we get our glasses, we'll put them on here. And when we get off at 11, it'll look like Franklin County, so I'm going to order a pair for everyone in Mahoning County. So we'll pass them out at the Campfield Fair.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I
never
could
thought of getting
I could
those.
rant and rave forever, but I won't.
I
I'll
think we
spare
ought,
you.
we should get buses from every
'cause we have a
community,
10:30 meeting.
get buses from every community and go down there and give opinions and
Yeah.
just.
How did that work when they eliminated the YDC?
It didn't work very
Yeah.
well. So I know, it did that, but
They sat and cried when you brought wheelchairs of people in that were losing their home, basically at YDC. They cried, they sympathized, they said how, sad it was. And then as soon as they were out of sight, the rose-colored glasses came on, they voted to close them
and you
all.
know what?
So,
I
That's just the way it is.
Capri Kafara was a representative or senator then?
So-
State senator, and her and I worked together to get the bus. So we get all done and we come back and everybody seemed a little bit positive. And even I thought, wow, this is going to work. They're really going to think about what we could do to make this work or partner with us. Well, we went back in. On the way out, I thanked her and we got in the bus and I talked to her. I said, what do you think? She said, did you look around? I says, I did. And they were very distraught. They were crying. They got it. She says, that's here. That's here. And then we got axed. So
Yep.
she was very, vocal along with Cherry. And who else was in there?
I think,
Hagan.
No, I think Joe
Michelle?
Schiavone,
Joe
because he had
Schiavone
the,
was
one of
big with
the
that.
amendments written just to have it go to committee
Right.
and be voted on, and they wouldn't pass it. So
No, so anyway.
Okay, all
That's
right.
the past.
we have
We're beyond that
10:30.
now.
Motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's all
Anthony, I
right.
forgot all about.
I couldn't vote.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
No,
Motion.
no,
Yeah.
were you done? Did you?
Oh, no, I'm done.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
No,
okay.
No.
I thought Carol, comes in for a second round.
Yeah.
And I think that it's next to you, so,
I'm good.
all right.
So
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati,
I'm confused. Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes. All right, so we have a 10:30 meeting.